It's actually really funny how we don't even think twice about, like, paying $5 for a bottle of water at a stadium.
Oh, totally. We just hand over the card.
Right. But if a neighborhood restaurant tried to charge us that much for just a standard glass of tap water, we would probably be offended.
People would leave bad reviews instantly.
Literally. We might even walk out. And physically, it is the exact same chemical composition, H2O.
Yeah, exactly the same.
Nothing about the molecular structure has changed at all. Like context, presentation, just the sheer environment of being at a major event completely rewires our brain to accept this massive price difference without a second thought.
It really is a profound psychological loophole. We all like to think we're making these, highly logical, financially sound decisions every single time we open our wallet.
I really do.
But in reality, our perception of value is incredibly malleable. Like in that stadium scenario, you aren't actually paying for the water itself.
Right, you're paying for the convenience.
Exactly. The immediate relief of thirst in an environment where your options are totally restricted. It's the experience of the event. So the value is entirely dictated by the circumstances surrounding the thirst, not, the actual liquid in the plastic bottle.
And that psychological loophole is exactly what we're discussing today. So welcome back to the deep dive. We are talking directly to you, our favorite kind of listener, constant learner.
Always looking for that next step.
Exactly. Specifically today, if you are a consultant, a service-based entrepreneur, or maybe someone aspiring to build a personal brand, well, this one is custom built for you.
It really is.
We have a very clear mission today. We are taking a massive stack of notes, summaries, and analyses based on Alex Hormozi's framework from his book, $100 Offers.
Such a game-changing book.
Oh, absolutely. And our goal is to figure out how you can stop competing on price, escape that exhausting, unscalable one-on-one grind, and basically transform your business into a category of one using the value equation.
Which is huge.
So, okay, let's unpack this. Because some of the business advice we are about to get into completely flies in the face of what, traditional marketing textbooks will tell you.
It absolutely requires unlearning the standard operating procedures.
Yeah.
Like everything most of us are taught about how to price and package is kind of backwards.
Yeah, why is that?
Well, the traditional business models that most freelancers and consultants adopt, they were originally designed by massive corporations with endless funding and economies of scale.
Right, like totally different one.
Exactly. What the source material advocates for instead is a model designed purely for profit maximization and creating massive perceived value from day one. But to do that, you have to fundamentally shift how you view what you're actually selling.
Right, and I guess before we can even talk about building this magical, irresistible offer that lets you charge a premium, we have to address the elephant in the room.
Which is who we're building it for.
Exactly, because according to these notes, even the greatest offer in the world is going to completely flatline in a dead market.
That is the bedrock of this entire framework.
Yeah.
It's startling to see how often brilliant, highly skilled entrepreneurs fail simply because they're playing the game on the wrong field.
Yeah, they're just in the wrong place entirely.
Right. So the sources introduced this concept called the commodity problem. Think about it from the perspective of the client, right? If your service is commoditized, meaning they view your business consulting or your life coaching as functionally identical to the 10 other consultants they just found on Google, how do they make their decision?
Well, if everything looks the same to me, I'm just going to look at the price tag, right?
Naturally.
The cheapest option is technically the most valuable by default because I feel like I'm getting the same exact thing for less money.
Precisely. And the moment your clients are making decisions based purely on price, you are trapped in a race to the bottom.
Oof, yeah, nobody wants to be there.
Right, because someone is always going to be willing to do it cheaper, especially in a global economy. That race to the bottom just completely destroys your profit margins.
Yeah.
It turns the entrepreneur into a captive of their own business, working 80 hours a week just to barely keep the lights on. And you're dealing with clients who are entirely transactional.
Just looking for a deal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the antidote to the commodity problem is what he calls the Grand Slam offer.
Which is this proprietary, completely unique bundle of high-value services that removes direct price comparison entirely.
Exactly.
Like, you are no longer selling consulting, you are selling a highly specific, guaranteed transformation.
Which is a huge shift.
It is, because when you do that, the prospect is basically forced to stop comparing you to others because literally no one else is offering the exact
market, which they refer to as the starving crowd, is actually more important than the strength of your offer.
Wow.
And that the offer is more important than your persuasion or your sales skills.
So basically, it doesn't really matter if you have the world's most expensive, technologically advanced surfboard, which represents your offer.
Right.
And it doesn't even matter if you have perfect balance in Olympic-level athleticism, representing your sales skills. If you are sitting in a lake with 0 waves, which is the market, you are not going anywhere.
That analogy captures it perfectly. I love that. You need the waves to do the heavy lifting for you.
Yeah.
If you have a starving crowd, you can actually be quite terrible at sales. You can have a really mediocre offer, and you will still make money because the demand is just so overwhelming.
The market just pulls it out of you.
Exactly. The goal of a smart entrepreneur is not to try and artificially generate demand out of thin air. It's to channel existing demand.
Okay, so how do we identify a market with massive waves? Because the sources give us 4 specific indicators of a great market, right?
Yeah, they do.
First is massive. They must desperately need what you are offering, not just, casually want it.
Right, it has to be a bleeding neck problem.
Exactly. Second is purchasing power. They actually need to be able to afford a premium price. Third, they must be easy to target, meaning if you can't find them congregating in specific digital groups or mailing lists or associations, your marketing just becomes a very expensive nightmare.
You're just shouting into the void.
Right. And fourth, the market needs to be growing.
That growth aspect is so often overlooked. A growing market acts as a permanent tailwind. Like, even if you make terrible mistakes, the sheer momentum of the industry pushes you forward.
You fail upward.
Pretty much. But a shrinking market is a constant headwind. You have to fight and claw just to maintain your current revenue.
I really want to drill down into that second point, though, the purchasing power. Because the notes offer a really stark warning about the danger of romanticizing the market.
Oh, this is a big one.
I think a lot of us, especially in the coaching and consulting space, we get into the business because we genuinely want to help people. We have this idealism.
Of course.
We want to help the struggling startup founder who's totally broke, or the college student. But stubbornly sticking to a broke demographic seems like a pretty fast track to business failure.
It is one of the hardest emotional hurdles for service-based entrepreneurs to clear.
Yeah.
Because it feels bad,
Yeah.
but it is a harsh truth of business physics.
Yeah.
You simply cannot build a premium, highly profitable business on a demographic that literally cannot afford premium prices. Solving rich people's problems simply pays better, and counterintuitively, it usually involves significantly less friction.
Wait, really? Less friction?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
When you target a market with high purchasing power, they don't nickel and dime you. They value their time way more than their money.
Ah, I see.
Which means they are more than willing to pay a premium just for you to solve the problem quickly and get out of their way.
Okay, that makes total sense. And this ties directly into a concept in the notes called the niche slap, which completely blew my mind when I read it.
It's so good.
The idea is that the narrower and more specific your niche, the higher your pricing power.
It is a brilliant mechanism. Let's actually explore the mechanics of why that happens.
But yeah, think about a generic time management course. If you go online right now, you might be able to sell a standard time management video course for, say, $19.
Maybe 29 if you're lucky.
Right. There are literally thousands of them out there on Udemy or wherever. But if you take that exact same core information, like the exact same modules on calendar blocking, the exact same Pomodoro
The
technique,
exact same stuff.
and you repackage it exclusively as time management for outbound B2B sales reps, suddenly you can sell it for nearly $2,000.
It's incredible.
You just increase the price by 100 times, basically for the exact same core content.
Now let's look at the psychology of the buyer in this scenario, because it explains everything. For the general public, a $19 time management course is just a nice-to-have personal development goal, right?
Yeah, maybe they'll watch it on a Sunday.
Exactly. If they don't finish it, they lose $19. No big deal. But for that specific B2B sales rep, mastering time management translates directly into their livelihood.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
If they can optimize their time to make, say, 10 more outbound calls a day, that translates directly into closing more enterprise deals, which means making tens of thousands of dollars in commission.
So the perceived value just skyrockets because the specificity speaks directly to their unique high-stakes needs.
Exactly.
When they read the sales page, they think, oh, this person understands exactly what my day looks like. They aren't giving me generic advice. They're giving me a weapon to make more money.
fighting a massive structural headwind. No matter how good his software was, no matter how hard he worked, his clients were going bankrupt.
He was sitting in a shrinking lake.
Precisely. But when the pandemic hit, he didn't try to innovate his way out of the newspaper decline. He took his exact same technical and operational skills and just pivoted them into automated face mask manufacturing.
Which was an exponentially exploding market at the time.
Exactly. He made millions of dollars in a matter of months. It was the same entrepreneur, the same core operational intellect, but a completely different market context.
Okay, so let's say you, listening right now, have found your starling crowd. You've identified a niche with massive pain and deep pockets.
Good job.
Your natural instinct, especially if you are trying to land your first few clients, is to look at what everyone else in that niche is charging, find the average, and then price yourself just a little bit below it.
Right, to be quote-unquote competitive.
Exactly. You want to win them over with a competitive rate, but this framework aggressively flips the script on that instinct.
It argues that pricing competitively is actually a race toward mediocrity. The framework states that 99% of businesses need to raise their prices to grow, not lower.
Which feels so scary.
It does, but we have to reframe how we view profit. Profit isn't just, extra cash you put in your pocket at the end of the year to buy a nice car. Profit is the actual oxygen of your business.
It's the fuel that allows you to actually deliver on your promises.
Yes, profit is what allows you to hire the best support staff, buy the best software, invest in better training for yourself, and ultimately deliver the absolute best possible service to your clients. If you lower your prices to win a client, you are instantly restricting your own oxygen supply. You literally won't have the margin to give them an exceptional experience. Lowering prices is a one-way road. You can only go down to zero, but you can go infinitely high in the other direction.
I hear that, and I know Warren Buffett is quoted in the text saying, price is what you pay, value is what you get.
A classic.
Right. So the entire goal is to create a massive gap between the price you charge and the value the client receives. But let me push back on this a little bit on behalf of a consultant listening right now.
Go for it.
Isn't it terrifying to just arbitrarily raise prices? Like, if I'm currently charging $100 an hour and tomorrow I email my list and tell my audience I'm now charging $500, won't my current clients literally revolt? Won't I just alienate my entire pipeline?
That fear of abandonment is very, very real. But we have to clarify a crucial distinction here. You are not raising prices in a vacuum. You don't just send out an email changing the number on your invoice while delivering the exact same commodity service.
Right, that would just make people mad.
Exactly. You only command that premium price when you systematically elevate the perceived value to match or exceed it, which we will break down shortly. But before we get to the how, we really need to understand the why.
The fascinating paradox of premium pricing.
Right.
The paradox being that charging clients more money actually makes them get better results, because that sounds completely illogical at first glance.
It sounds totally logical until you view it through the lens of human behavior. The sources call this the virtuous cycle of price.
Okay, walk me through it.
Let's walk through it from the perspective of an elite personal brand coach. If you charge a client a small, highly competitive fee, say $50 a month, their emotional investment in your program is incredibly low.
Because $50 isn't going to break the bank. Like, if they skip a coaching call or if they just don't do the homework you assign them, the pain of losing that $50 is pretty minimal.
Correct. When things get tough, and in any transformation, things always get tough, it is very easy for them to just walk away. They haven't lost money.
Yeah, it's just a drop in the bucket.
But when a client pays a true premium, when the price actually stings a little bit to hand over the credit card, they are deeply emotionally committed to making it work. As the famous sales adage goes, those who pay the most attention.
Oh, I love that. Those who pay the most attention. So the sting of the high price acts as this kind of psychological forcing function.
Exactly.
It forces them to actually do the hard work you are prescribing. And because they do the work, they inevitably get better results.
Yep.
And those better results create amazing, undeniable testimonials for your coaching business.
And what do you do with those elite testimonials? You use them to justify an even higher price to the next tier of prospects.
So that's the virtuous cycle.
That is the virtuous cycle. Premium prices attract committed clients who get better results, which builds a stronger brand, which commands higher prices.
It feeds itself.
It really does.
Yeah.
Conversely, lowering prices does the exact opposite. It creates a vicious cycle. It attracts the most skeptical, least committed clients
are basically just running a scam.
Absolutely. You'll get found out very quickly.
Exactly. So how do we actually engineer the product or service so that it justifies the premium price ethically? How do we build that massive gap between price and value?
This is where we move from theory into actual structural engineering. The sources provide a specific mathematical framework for this, called the value equation.
Which is so cool.
It really is. It completely demystifies what the abstract word value actually means in the marketplace.
It's essentially a fraction, right? On the top of the fraction, you have the dream, what they want, how sure they are you can get them there. On the bottom, you have the friction, how long it takes and how much it hurts to do it.
That is an excellent way to summarize it. Formally, the formula is value equals dream outcome multiplied by the perceived likelihood of achievement. That is the numerator. And then you divide that by time delay, multiplied by effort and sacrifice. That is the denominator.
So, as a service entrepreneur, your singular mission in life is to increase the variables on the top half of that fraction and ruthlessly drive the variables on the bottom half as close to zero as humanly possible.
Exactly. Mathematically, as the denominator approaches zero, the overall value of your offer approaches infinity.
Let's break this down variable by variable because this is where the listener can actually start applying these principles to their business today.
Perfect.
Let's look at the top half first. The dream outcome. The notes are very clear that this isn't just about selling a business strategy or a fitness routine. It is fundamentally about selling status.
Right, because human beings are driven by deep evolutionary desires. We want to be perceived as beautiful or powerful, respected or loved by our peers.
It always comes back to evolution.
It always does. We evaluate our desires based on what gives us the most status in the eyes of others. So when you are framing your dream outcome for a client, you cannot just talk about the technical deliverables of your consulting package.
Right.
You have to frame it in terms of how their peers will view them once the transformation is actually complete.
The example they give in the sources about selling a golf club is just completely about. So if you are selling a new technologically advanced driver, the amateur marketer says, this club is made of aerospace-grade titanium and it will add 40 yards to your drive.
Which is a very technical outcome.
Exactly, it's totally logical. But the master marketer speaks in status. They say, imagine standing on the first tee box, you swing, and your golf buddies' jaws drop as they watch your ball swing 40 yards past theirs. They will spend the rest of the afternoon begging you to miss it.
It's so visceral.
Right, you are painting a vivid, visceral picture of that future reality where their status is elevated.
The painting of this picture is which leads to the second variable, perceived likelihood of achievement.
Because people want certainty.
Exactly. If I am paying you $5,000 for a consulting, how do I know it's actually? I know we tried other programs before and totally failed.
Right, there's always skepticism.
Certainty is the bridge between their current skepticism and the dream outcome. Build that certainty systematically.
How so?
Use messaging that speaks precisely to their unique situation. Leverage overwhelming social proof and case studies. And most importantly, utilize risk reversing guarantees, which we will touch on later when we discuss it again. You just have to increase their conviction that your specific vehicle is the one that will find them.
This brings up a concept in notes that I found super fascinating. Logical connections and psychological.
So this is a massive paradigm shift.
The argument is that if a logical solution to a market problem existed, it would have already been solved by someone else. So we, as training service providers, have to solve the psychological connection.
It really challenges how most businesses are pricing. We always default to logic. Sources highlight a phenomenal case study from the London Underground. They illustrate why psychology is often vastly superior to logic.
Oh, let's hear it. I love this one.
So passengers in London were highly dissatisfied with their experience waiting for trains. It was just miserable for them.
Waiting in the dark.
So the engineers looked for a logical solution. Make the trains faster and easier to wait.
Which makes sense, logically. But upgrading the entire train infrastructure, buying faster cars, upgrading all the tracks, I mean, that would cost billions of dollars to take decades to complete. It's a highly illogical business.
Right. It was completely unfeasible. So a behavioral psychology team proposed a completely different approach. Instead of changing the physical reality of the trains, they suggested changing the psychological perception of the wait.
What did they do?
They installed dotted route maps and digital arrival timers on the platforms.
Like, next train arriving in 3 minutes.
Yes, and the trains did not move 1 single second faster. The physical wait time was identical to before.
Wow.
But rider satisfaction absolutely skyrocketed.
Wow.
Because they decreased the psychological pain, the anxiety, and the uncertainty of waiting in a dark tunnel not knowing what's happening. They didn't change the timeline. They just changed how the passengers experienced the tunnel.
That is a perfect transition to the bottom half of the value equation. If the top half is the shiny destination we're promising, the bottom half, time delay and effort and sacrifice, is the bumpy, miserable road trip.
Exactly.
And as a service entrepreneur, this is where you really earn your premium pricing.
Beginners focus almost entirely on making bigger and bolder claims about the dream outcome. But the most valuable companies in the world focus obsessively on the bottom of the equation.
Make it easier.
Yes, they make the process immediate, seamless, and totally effortless. Let's look at time delay first. The sources state plainly, the only thing that beats free is fast.
Yeah, people will gladly pay massive premiums. I mean, it's why we pay for FedEx overnight shipping, and the postal service will take a fraction of the cost.
Why people pay for Spotify instead of spending hours pirating and downloading individual MP3s like we used to.
Right. But for a consultant or a coach, speed is kind of a tricky concept. You are usually selling long-term transformations. Like, if you are a business consultant promising to double the company's revenue, that doesn't happen overnight.
That might take 12 months.
So how do you deliver speed in that context?
You engineer fast wins.
Fast wins, okay.
Exactly. Clients buy your service for the long-term dream, for sure. But they stay and they emotionally commit because of the short-term experiences. The advanced advice here is to engineer a significant, highly visible emotional win as close to the credit card swipe as possible.
So right after they buy.
Yes, you need to validate their trust to be exactly what they handle.
The notes give a great example of a business consultant working specifically with gym owners. The consultant's ultimate brand promise is adding something like $239,000 in annual recurring revenue to the gym.
Huge promise.
But that takes a full year of systemic changes to achieve, obviously.
Right, and if the gym owner has to wait 6 months to see any tangible progress, they will totally lose faith and turn out of the program.
They'll just ask for a refund.
Exactly. So the consultant focuses heavily on a fast win. Within the first 7 days of the engagement, the consultant gets the gym owner's new Facebook ads live and actually helps them close their very first $2,000 high-ticket fitness package.
Wow, within a week, that immediate cash injection completely alters the client's psychology.
Completely.
It locks in their emotional buy-in. They suddenly believe the long-term dream of $250,000 is possible because the short-term proof is undeniably sitting right there in their bank account.
You've drastically reduced the perceived time delay. Now let's look at the final and perhaps most difficult variable, effort and sacrifice.
The dreaded effort.
These are the ancillary costs, both the tangible physical effort and the intangible emotional pains accrued along the journey.
The comparison the notes make here is just brilliant. Look at the health and fitness space. You have the supplement industry, which is worth around $123 billion.
Massive.
And you have the health club and gym industry, which is worth about $62 billion. Both industries are ultimately selling the exact same dream outcome: fitness, health, and a better body. But one is literally double the size of the other.
Because swallowing a vitamin pill or fat burner in the morning requires near zero effort and sacrifice. Waking up at 5 a.m., driving in the cold to a gym, and sweating under heavy weights for an hour requires massive effort and sacrifice. Human beings are biologically wired to conserve energy. We will always pay exponentially more for done-for-you services than do-it-yourself services.
Yeah, we're fundamentally lazy.
We are. If a tech company could invent a button you push that instantly makes you fit with zero effort, that product would have near infinite financial value.
I totally see why decreasing effort creates value, but let me push back on this practically. If I am an elite personal brand coach or a management consultant, I can't do the push-ups for my clients. I literally can't run their company, fire their bad employees, and have their hard conversations for them. They have to do the work. So how do I actually reduce effort without just doing the job myself?
It's about absorbing the friction wherever possible. The sources share a phenomenal anecdote about this exact dilemma.
The weight loss coach.
Yes. There was a weight loss coach who was trying to close a high-ticket sale with a very busy female executive. The coach's standard program required clients to buy raw ingredients, prep their meals on Sundays, and cook all their food at home to meticulously control calories.
Which requires a ton of effort and time.
Right. And the executive looked at the program and basically said, I have business lunches every single day. I eat out at restaurants constantly for work. I just don't have time to meal prep. This won't work for me.
So the coach is about to lose the sale.
She was about to lose it, but she desperately needed the sale. So instead of lecturing the executive about dedication or forcing her to change her entire lifestyle, the coach absorbed the effort.
What did she do?
She created a custom email. She asked the executive for a list of the 5 restaurants she frequented most often for business lunches. The coach then went online, pulled up the nutritional menu for those exact restaurants, and created a cheat sheet telling the executive exactly what to order at each place to stay under her calorie goals.
Oh, wow. So the client didn't have to think about all the food stuff to make macros and the coach just removed all the psychological sacrifice of trying to diet when you're working a $90 job.
Precisely. And the brilliance of this is that from then on, whenever a new prospect objected by saying, I eat out too much, the coach had this powerful asset ready to go. He reduced effort in consulting clients by providing custom templates, swipe files, exact conversational scripts, and step-by-step operating procedures.
Oh, I see.
He built the framework so the client never has to stare at a blank page or figure things out.
So we've conceptually built this incredibly valuable, high-priced system to maximize the dream outcome, build consent, engineer faster, and absorb the client's friction. But practically, if I take this grand slam offer and sell it to 8 people, I'm going to completely burn out time. If my I just become a slave to my success. So how do I
This is the exact
Right. Step 1 is identifying that dream outcome. Let's break down the matrix. What are the actual variables?
First, you decide on the level of personal attention. Are you going to solve this problem one-on-one in a small group cohort or in one-to-many format? Second, what is the expected effort from the client? Is this do-it-yourself done with you or done for you? And third, what is the medium of delivery? Are you doing this live over Zoom, via a pre-recorded video module, through written text support, or in person?
So looking at that delivery cube, it seems like you are constantly balancing how much personal access a client gets against how scalable the solution is for you.
Exactly.
And this feels like where a lot of consultants make massive scaling mistakes. We get very romantic about custom one-on-one fulfillment.
It is a massive ego trap. Many service providers feel they are only truly providing value if they are personally sweating over a client's specific problem on a live one-on-one call.
We feel guilty charging a premium if we aren't physically exhausted at the end of the day.
Right, but that mindset kills your margins and severely limits how many people you can actually help. To break out of this paradigm, the sources suggest an exercise called the 10x to 110th test.
Walk me through how I would apply that test to my business today.
You take your core offer and you stretch your mind in both extreme directions. First, you ask yourself, if my customer paid me $100,000, 10 times my current premium price, what would I provide?
If someone paid me $100,000, I'd probably fly to their office, live in their guest house, manage their staff directly, and build everything for them from the ground up.
Exactly. It forces you to think of every possible luxury, white glove, done-for-you service you can theoretically offer to guarantee their success.
Okay.
Then you flip it. You ask, if they only paid me 1/10 of my current price, how could I still ensure they reach their dream outcome without me going totally bankrupt?
Well, if they're barely paying me, I can't give them any of my personal time.
None.
I'd have to build systems. Like, I'd record a comprehensive video training once and share it infinitely.
Yeah.
I'd create an automated software tool or a community forum where they answer each other's questions.
See? You are forced to think about highly scalable one-to-many solutions that cost you almost nothing to duplicate, but still deliver the core transformation.
Oh, that's clever.
Once you have brainstormed both extremes, you arrive at step 5, trim and stack.
Trimming the fat and stacking the value.
Exactly. You look at the massive list of solutions you just brainstormed. First, you ruthlessly eliminate any item that is high cost to you but provides low value to the client. Then you eliminate the low cost, low value items. What you are left with are the golden nuggets.
You want those low-cost, high-value items. Things like the contract templates, the pre-recorded deep dive trainings, the exact email swipe files.
Yes.
Because they take time to create once, but 0 time to deliver to the 1,000th client.
Yes. And you bundle those highly scalable assets with just a few strategic, high-cost, high-value items like perhaps a single monthly one-on-one strategy call or a quarterly live intensive. You stack these together to create your final scalable Grand Slam offer.
There is a mantra in the notes summarizing this phase that is just brilliant. Create flow, monetize flow, then add friction.
It is the optimal path for bootstrapping a service business. In the very beginning, you generate cash flow by over-delivering like crazy.
Just doing whatever it takes.
Right. You might have to do things manually, one-on-one, just to get those first few case studies and get cash in the door. But once you have that cash, you don't just increase your lifestyle spending.
Right. No buying a Ferrari yet.
No Ferrari. You use that cash to build efficient systems, the videos, the templates, the automations.
And then you add friction to your marketing, meaning
Yeah.
because your systems are now delivering the bulk of the value, you start being more selective. You offer less of your direct personal access for the same or an even higher price.
Correct. But here is where most people hesitate.
I'm hesitating right now. Let me push back.
Do it.
If I am charging premium prices, my clients expect me. If I replace my 2-hour one-on-one consultation call with a PDF template and a pre-recorded video, won't my premium clients feel cheated? Won't they feel like I pulled a bait and switch?
This is perhaps the biggest paradigm shift in the entire framework. You have to realize that clients are not paying for your sweat. They are not paying for your time.
They aren't.
No, they're paying for the result.
The dream outcome.
Yes. Let's say a client needs a complex employment contract. You could get on a 2-hour Zoom call with them, painfully draft it word by word together, and charge them for your time.
Okay.
Or you could hand them a perfectly engineered fill-in-the-blank template that takes them 5 minutes to complete. Which one gets them to the result faster?
The template, obviously.
And which one requires less effort and sacrifice from them?
The template.
Therefore, according to the value equation, by removing your direct one-on-one time and replacing it with an automated asset, the perceived value of your service actually went up.
Wow.
You decreased time delay and effort. If a tool gets them to the finish line faster and with less headache, they will happily pay a premium for it, and they won't miss the 2-hour Zoom call at all.
That completely reorients how I think about delivering a service. Okay, so we have built this perfect, scalable, high-value offer. The machine is ready.
It's primed.
But human beings are natural procrastinators. How do we get a prospect to stop thinking about it, stop comparing us to alternatives, and actually pull out their credit card today?
Well, this brings us to the psychological enhancers.
Scarcity, urgency, and bonuses.
Exactly. Fundamentally, all marketing exists to influence the psychological supply and demand curve in the mind of the prospect. The sources drop a very powerful, somewhat ruthless truth here. In any transaction, the person who needs the exchange less always has the upper hand.
So true.
Enhancers are psychological tools used to artificially decrease the perceived supply of your offer and simultaneously increase the demand.
Let's start with scarcity and urgency, because I think people confuse the two a lot. Scarcity limits the supply, like the literal number of seats in a cohort or slots on your calendar.
Right.
Urgency limits time, like a hard deadline to enroll before the price doubles. Why are these triggers so overwhelmingly effective?
Because biologically, the fear of loss is significantly stronger than the desire for gain. Behavioral economists call this loss aversion. People want what they can't have, and they desperately want what they see other people getting.
FOMO is real.
It's very real. When a prospect is considering your offer, they are hovering at an action threshold.
Like they are comfortable doing nothing.
Exactly. Inaction is safe. When you introduce scarcity or urgency, you are dramatically lowering their action threshold. You are forcing them into a binary choice. Make a decision right now or lose this opportunity forever.
It prevents the "let me think about it" objection, which almost always results in a lost sale anyway.
Always.
But let's be honest, doesn't artificial scarcity feel a bit sleazy? I think of those late-night infomercials screaming, "Call in the next 10 minutes." Or those digital marketers who have a countdown timer on their website, but if you refresh the page the next day, the timer just magically starts over.
Ugh, the worst.
It just feels like manipulation.
It absolutely feels like manipulation when it is faked, which is why the sources draw a massive, bright red line between fake scarcity and ethical scarcity.
Thank goodness.
Fake scarcity will destroy your brand integrity instantly. If you use a fake countdown timer and a prospect discovers it, you have broken their trust forever. They will never believe another claim you make. Ethical scarcity, on the other hand, is based on the real, physical, or operational constraints of your business.
Give me an example of how a consultant can apply ethical scarcity without sounding like a used car salesman.
The sources outline a few highly effective models. First is the total business cap. You simply announce, truthfully, "I only ever work with a maximum of 50 active clients at any given time to ensure the highest quality of service. Right now, we have 48 spots filled."
That implies exclusivity and high demand. It sounds very professional.
Another method is the growth rate cap. You might say, "We only onboard 5 new clients a week because our onboarding process is so intensive. We are booked for this week, but we are taking deposits for next week's cohort."
Or a cohort cap, where you only accept clients into a specific 90-day program that has a hard start date. If they miss the enrollment window, they physically cannot join until the next quarter.
The key to ethical scarcity is that when you hit your cap, or the deadline passes, you must actually close the doors. You have to mean it. And when you sell out, you must let your entire audience know that you sold out.
Wait, why is announcing you sold out so important?
Because it creates massive, undeniable social proof. It trains your audience. It teaches them that your boundaries are real and that the next time you open up slots, they need to act immediately, or they will genuinely miss out.
Oh, that makes total sense. Now, what about bonuses? The notes make a very strong argument that we should use bonuses to increase demand, but we should almost never use discounts.
Discounting is a toxic practice for premium brands.
Why is that?
Because when you discount your core offer, you are training your clients that your prices are arbitrary and negotiable. It destroys your premium positioning. If you discount your consulting package by 20% just to close a deal, the client will always wonder if they could have gotten 30% off if they just pushed a little harder.
Instead, you stack bonuses. You keep the premium price locked in, but you expand the value side of the equation.
That's exactly.
But the strategy outlined here, they call it bonus bullets, is really clever. You don't just throw random low-value PDFs into the bundle and call it a bonus. You use bonuses surgically to assassinate objections.
That is the perfect way to describe it. A well-designed bonus addresses a specific reason why the prospect thinks they might fail, even if they buy your program.
So if you are selling a high-ticket business coaching program, and you know from experience that your prospects are always secretly terrified about how they are going to hire a team to implement your strategies.
You don't just promise to help them, you create a highly specific bonus called the Ultimate Hiring Script and Interview Framework.
Okay.
You ascribe a real, tangible monetary value to it, say $997, and you explain exactly how it completely removes the friction of hiring. Then you bundle it in for free.
There is a specific negotiation technique mentioned in the notes that leverages this perfectly. It's called the one-on-one sales ask. How does a consultant actually deploy that on a discovery call?
It is a masterful piece of sales psychology. When you are on the call presenting your offer, you ask for the sale before you reveal any of the bonuses.
Wait, really? Before?
Yes. You present the core offer and the premium price, and you ask if they are ready to move forward.
Okay, if they say yes, right then and there.
Then you enthusiastically welcome them, and then you reveal all the incredible bonuses they are getting.
Oh, that's smart.
It creates an overwhelming wow experience. It validates their decision to buy and makes them feel like they just got the deal of a lifetime.
But what if they hesitate? What if they say the price is too high or they aren't sure it will work for them?
That is when you deploy the bonuses strategically. You isolate their specific objection. You ask, what is the main thing holding you back right now? If they say they're worried about the tech setup, you pull out your specific bonus designed for that. You say, I completely understand. Because you were worried about the tech, I'm actually going to include our done-for-you tech setup integration guide, which normally costs $1,000, completely free. If I include that, does that make it fair enough to move forward today?
Fair enough. That phrasing is so powerful.
Isn't it?
Because psychologically, humans have a very hard time rejecting reciprocity. If you bend over backward to solve their specific problem right in front of them, they feel a social obligation to say yes. It's like having a deck of secret weapons in your back pocket.
It's highly effective because you aren't fighting their objection. You are absorbing it with a pre-built solution.
All right, we have covered an immense amount of ground. We've tackled the mindset of premium pricing, identifying a starving market, engineering the value equation, building scalable delivery vehicles, and deploying psychological enhancers.
It's a lot.
It is. Now, we arrive at the culmination, the step-by-step implementation plan. How does the listener take all this theory and execute it as soon as this deep dive ends?
The most vital piece of advice the sources impart for execution is this. Do not wait until you feel ready.
You never will.
You will never feel fully prepared to launch a premium offer. The fastest path to your first or your next $100,000 in revenue does not involve spending 3 months building complex automated marketing funnels or recording high production videos. It involves 4 remarkably simple steps.
Okay, let's lay out the blueprint.
Step 1, build your Grand Slam offer on paper using the value equation we discussed. Define the dream outcome, mitigate the friction, and trim and stack your delivery so it's scalable.
Check.
Step 2, identify a single channel where your starving crowd naturally congregates. This doesn't mean blasting ads everywhere. This could be a highly specific LinkedIn group, a niche professional association, or a targeted email list you already have access to.
Find where the waves are crashing.
Exactly. Step 3, present the offer manually and directly to them. Forget the fancy landing pages for now. Hop on the phone, send personalized direct messages, just to have real human conversations to validate the offer.
Okay, so highly manual at first.
Very manual. And step 4, sell it, fulfill it manually if you have to at first, and iterate based on real-world feedback from paying clients.
It really is a gritty, unglamorous process to get started. But what happens 6 months down the line? Let's say the offer was a huge success, but now sales are slowing down. The market is getting used to seeing your ads.
Right, offer fatigue.
Exactly. The offer is getting stale, which happens to every business eventually. The sources provide a naming formula called MAGIC to completely refresh offers without having to invent a new service.
Offer fatigue is a very real phenomenon. Over time, the market just becomes blind to your messaging. The MAGIC formula is a framework for renaming and repackaging your offer to make it look brand new.
What does it stand for?
It stands for magnetic reason, avatar, goal, interval, and container.
Let's break those down. Magnetic reason is the why, like a holiday sale or a back-to-school special. Avatar is exactly who it is for. Goal is the dream outcome. Interval is the time frame. And container is what you call the program a boot camp, a blueprint, an intensive.
Right, so instead of just selling your standard business consulting package, you apply the formula. It becomes the back to school, which is the magnetic reason elite coach, the avatar 10K revenue, the goal, 30-day, the interval blueprint, the container.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting to me. It is literally like wrapping a present in different paper.
Okay.
The actual gift inside the box, your core consulting service, the weekly coaching calls, the templates you built, is the exact same product. But because you put it in shiny new wrapping paper with a new MAGIC name, the market perceives it as a novel opportunity.
It works so well.
People who ignored your generic consulting package are suddenly desperate to open this new 30-day blueprint.
It capitalizes on novelty. It allows you to constantly re-stimulate demand in your market without having to reinvent your operational delivery every 3 months. You maintain the efficiency of your back end while keeping the front end marketing fresh and exciting.
That is just brilliant.
To see how all these principles beautifully coalesce, we really have to look at the story of Sarah from the source material.
Sarah, the weight loss coach. This case study brings everything we've talked about into reality.
It really does. So Sarah was incredibly skilled, but she was struggling financially. She was selling generic, ongoing fitness memberships for a low monthly fee.
Right.
She was trapped in the commodity problem, competing on price with every local big box gym in her town. She was working constantly and barely surviving.
She was in a race to the bottom.
Yes. So she decided to apply the value equation. First, she completely changed her offer. She stopped selling open-ended memberships and started selling a highly specific 90-day transformation.
Which gives it an interval and a goal.
Next, she increased the perceived likelihood of achievement by offering a strict guarantee. Then, she aggressively attacked the bottom half of the equation, effort and sacrifice.
How'd she do that?
Instead of just telling her clients to eat less, she provided custom meal plans, utilizing foods her clients actually already enjoyed, plus exact weekly grocery shopping lists so they didn't even have to think at the supermarket.
She absorbed the friction. And because the perceived value of this new comprehensive transformation was astronomically higher than a basic gym membership, she raised her price significantly. She started charging $997 for the 90-day program.
End result, she made $30,000 in 3 months.
Which is incredible. But the most important takeaway for the listener is this. Sarah did not go back to school to get a new degree.
No, she didn't.
She did not suddenly become a radically better nutritionist overnight. Her underlying technical skills remained exactly the same.
She simply changed her offer. She repackaged the knowledge she already possessed into a Grand Slam offer that directly addressed the psychology of her starving crowd. She made an offer so compelling that people felt stupid saying no to it.
And that is the true power of everything we have unpacked today. Let's do a quick recap of the journey we've taken.
Good idea.
We started by realizing that competing on price is a trap that leads to burnout. You have to escape the commodity mindset and become a category of one by targeting a starving crowd with high purchasing power.
From there, we flipped the script on pricing entirely. We realized that premium prices are not just about higher margins, they are a tool to actually increase client results by forcing emotional commitment and leveraging the virtuous cycle of price.
We then demystified the abstract concept of value using the value equation. We learned how to maximize the dream outcome through status, increase the likelihood of achievement with certainty, and relentlessly minimize time delay with fast wins and effort and sacrifice by basically absorbing the client's friction.
And then we tackled the structural challenge of scaling, transitioning from exhausting one-on-one labor into highly leveraged one-to-many delivery vehicles using the delivery cube and the trim and stack method, all while maintaining premium perceived value.
And finally, we explored how to drive immediate action using ethical scarcity, urgency, and stacking strategic bonuses to assassinate objections, keeping the offer perpetually fresh with the MAGIC naming formula.
A very full journey.
It really was. If you are listening right now, whether you are a consultant, a coach, or a freelancer, your expertise is truly only as good as your offer. You could genuinely be the most brilliant mind in your industry, but if your offer is framed as a commodity, you will always struggle to get paid what you are worth.
It requires a profound, fundamental shift in perspective. You have to transition from focusing purely on what you do to focusing obsessively on how your client perceives and experiences the value of what you do.
Which leaves us with a final, somewhat provocative thought to ponder as we wrap up. We've spent this entire time dissecting how value is essentially a psychological construct.
Right.
It's about minimizing perceived friction, maximizing perceived certainty, and manipulating context like the water bottle at the stadium.
Yep.
If that is true, at what point does being a successful elite coach or consultant become less about the actual technical advice you give and more about your mastery of shaping human psychology? What does that mean for the future of how we buy and sell services in a knowledge economy?
It certainly suggests that the ultimate, most profitable business skill isn't just subject matter expertise. The ultimate skill is behavioral architecture.
Behavioral architecture. That is a brilliant way to phrase it, and definitely something for you to mull over as you sit down to start building your own Grand Slam offer today. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive. And remember, the next time you willingly hand over $5 for a plastic bottle of water at a stadium, take a moment to appreciate the invisible, perfectly executed offer that just made you feel completely fine about it.